Well, hello again, my friends and my weary travelers. Once again, this is Jason, also known as Jason Fitness Captain Esty, and in my new YouTube channel, and my name, Jason Cosmic RSSP Authority. That's right, because I am an authority, I believe, on the real secret space program. And I'm trying to use this platform and these videos to provide real transparency and be an advocate for the truth, and to try to inspire you guys and gals out there everywhere to come and inject that much needed transparency with me so we can break down ultimately the walls of this absurd elite secrecy. That's right. So join me, my weary travelers, will you? Come warm yourself by the fire, take your coat off, grab a stool or chair, and join me, will you, as I give you my deep research, approximation, evaluation, investigation, analysis, discussion, and hard assessment, a hardcore breakdown on the real truth behind the real secret space program. Yes, the UFO subject. It's a multifaceted, complex subject with a lot of moving parts. The renowned Richard Dolan, he likes to use the term UFO phenomenon. You know, that same ufologist that throughout his whole career has subscribed that we reverse engineered ET retro parts, in other words, from ET crashing at where else? Roswell, New Mexico. When in fact, the Nazi scientists, the paperclip scientists, as I've said in other videos, where were they brought into? White Sands, Fort Bliss, and Dayton, right? All in the areas where the UFO disc crash. And yet you're going to say it's ET just because there's stories that come out that, you know, people, true believers caught in the alien mind trap, that it's got to be aliens? Come on, my friends. We got to realize, and Dolan knows, that disinformation on this topic is off the charts. And we're going to get into it, my friends. And today, so, you know, again, get ready for a cacophony, cavalcade conversation from me, my friends. Because I'm going, you know, today let's discuss the corporate military space interests, what they, the mass media, the international petro-Nazi American and British cartels, and some of the troglodytes and the warmongering misanthropic money whores. Let's talk about what they've been hiding, why they need to be exposed, and why the hegemony of their covert programs must be made transparent. That's right, my friends. And we're going to touch on this secret, classified, totally off the balance sheet endowment of trillions and trillions of dollars. Talking about 21 trillion missing since 1998. That's documented from Catherine Austin Fitts and the help of Professor Skidmore at the University of Michigan. That's a known fact, my friends. And if you go back to 1990, she's now estimated, you know, you just add up the various bailouts, that's 20 trillion or so there. The 21 trillion you've got in the pump and dump of the stock markets, you know, in quantitative easing. She's estimated you got 50 trillion in assets shifted out of North America's systems into something else. And it doesn't even include what may have been shifted in the industrial countries in Europe. Okay? That's the kind of money we're talking. And that has financed literally a covert military civilization. That's right, my friends. If you've watched any of my videos the last few months, that's a new term I've come up with. The renowned Richard Dolan likes to use the term breakaway civilization. That's kind of a cool term that he used and created. I think it's even more accurate to say, because you've always got to bring it back to the military-industrial complex, my friends. It's a covert military civilization. And these trillions and trillions of theft of dollars out of U.S. hard-earned pockets, taxpayers' pockets, and they use drug money, securities fraud, you know, elements of the deep state, CIA, going into the military-industrial complex to the black budget, okay, to build the underground bases, the massive infrastructure that's under classified details, no congressional oversight, no public scrutiny. They're all over the world and under ocean bases as well. And we've got, of course, the space-based economy, where even more of those trillions are responsible for, my friends. Okay? We've got an off-world culture, in other words, a totally post-petroleum civilization, a covert military civilization that is doing massive, massive covert production. That's right, my friends, off-world on the moon and Mars, no question about it. No question about it. I mean, I could spend all day showing you guys. You could check for yourselves videos on YouTube channels, not Photoshop, with people actually making a career showing you on their YouTube channel all the anomalies and amazing structures on the moon and Mars. Towers, domes. They're mining the moon for uranium-237, uranium-235, plutonium-237, I believe it is. They've got an abundance of titanium they're mining. And why not? I mean, they've got the technology. But my friends, let's go back, not just the moon, where we should have the truth on what's going on there, but if you're going to build bases on Mars, which they've been doing for decades, my friends, this is why I get so passionate, because as Catherine even says too, and I agree with her, there should be a policy, a discussion. If you're going to build bases on Mars, we should know about it and get to discuss it and give you the right or not to build bases on Mars. I don't think the public's going to be very keen on bases being built on Mars when they know all these trillions of dollars are going towards it. And again, they're financially harvesting communities, towns, cities, you know, and stealing, in other words, enormous amount of money out of U.S. pockets, my friends. And it's it's been profoundly demoralizing and deflationary on millions of people, particularly in the United States. Other countries have their own black budgets, I'm sure, Russia, China, and stuff. But, you know, we're talking the United States right now, my friends, because this black budget is out of control. I mean, the mind-boggling, 50 trillion shifted out of North America? I mean, my friends, and even when it was at 40 trillion, Catherine tells you, you put an endowment of 5%, you know, you're going to get 2% return a year. You can finance the global government on a private basis. The interviewer laughed at her and she said, no, I'm serious. So, you know, I've proposed the question in another video, my friends. How the $50 trillion question, I've discussed it with Joe. You know, we discussed in so many words on his live stream as well, is how much is that 50 trillion? And by the way, that live stream from the amazing Joe from the Carolinas, my buddy, just go to his YouTube channel, Joe from the Carolinas, scroll down on his live streams, you'll see live transmission. It looks like he's sitting in a UFO. He's got amazing graphics titled Secret Space Program Culture, Controversial Interview. And we rock the deep state, no doubt about it, my friends. And we did it with decor, firmness, and truth. Okay? We didn't spout out garbage. And I got right into it the best way I could, my friends, telling you the truth, really, on the real secret space program. Bringing in some history, trying to give you guys a fundamental understanding in being able to be competent in evaluating a lot of what's going on with these covert military civilizations, my friends. It's so important because, my friends, whatever energy they're utilizing, we're going to get into the technology. Whatever energy they're utilizing, it's a totally legendary free energy. They're using it as an alternative reality, technological reality. No question about it, my friends. That being anti-gravity and electromagnetic propulsion. No question about it, my friends. They made the breakthroughs in early 1950s. We're going to get into it without a doubt. And it's allowed them to go off-world, my friends. But they have been obfuscating the rest of the world, holding basically all of us hostage on this vital information, lying to us for guess how long? 60 plus years, my friends. 60 plus years we've been lied to and hoodwinked. Okay? It's outrageous. We should have had this technology culturally, as I always say, integrated and grounded in control, get the laws in place, and we haven't needed, in other words, centralized utilities, stinky oil and gas, or nuclear, or coal for decades, my friends. We haven't needed it. This is a totally free energy from the cosmos. That's why it's our divine right to have it, my friends, not just for the covert military civilizations. This is a legendary energy. It's part of the ether of space, and it is powerful, my friends. It's the zero-point energy, largely, okay? And again, they were doing amazing experiments. When the Americans brought those paperclip Nazi scientists over, they knew the Germans, the Nazis, had made a breakthrough with those Nazi scientists in the SS before the end of World War II. That's why the U.S. made the devil dealings with those Nazi scientists, my friends. And it's hardly ever talked about. It's never talked about, really, why did the U.S. make those devil dealings with those Nazi scientists? Why was it so important for the U.S.? You know, they were so horny to bring them over, excuse my language, but anxious, let's put it that way. Why was that, my friends? Why did they make the devil dealings including with a guy like Walter Dornberger, one of the most notorious Nazis, my friends. This guy had such a corrupt moral compass, he was hanging people from the slave labor camps that didn't agree with him. And he was a very powerful man, Walter Dornberger. He was in charge of the secret weapons projects going on in Germany, right? He was higher than even Werner von Braun and Rudolf Hess. This guy was the highest of highs underneath Hitler and Juan Perón, my friends. Walter Dornberger. And dark journalists did a great job discussing sort of the life of Walter Dornberger, part of the past there, and the connections with the deep state, because he proved that Walter Dornberger was a deep state player, my friends, because dark journalists found out that the U.S., they had Walter Dornberger on an itinerary list going to dinner with Nixon and his wife. Dornberger and his wife were going to dinner with Nixon and his wife, and more than once, in Washington, D.C., my friends. So again, it all goes back to, I told you before in other videos, my friends, for example, the U.S. moniker. There's a lot of great Americans, don't get me wrong. But let me just say briefly, the U.S. have run their country largely as a template to what those German Nazis were doing, my friends, before the end of the war. Okay? No question about it. The cult, their interest in the cult, the esoteric, my friends, the engineering background, again, the U.S. just copied their space program, basically, even from Kudamanda right down to the countdown. And of course, by the time the 1960s rolled around, that whole apparatus at the end of the World War II under Reinhard Gehlen, I've always said, my friends, what happened there? That huge spy organization, that just rolled right into the CIA. So you better believe, my friends, the Nazis, and they copied the whole intelligent infrastructure, you know, the NSA, the NSA, CIA, basically, that intelligence apparatus, in other words, was patterned after those German originals. I've said this before, my friends. So the Nazis do not have just a hangout position in Washington, D.C., my friends. They are in Washington, D.C., and they have a significant impact on diplomatic and geopolitical decisions going on, and that means internationally as well. No question about it, and we got to be aware of it, my friends, okay? We really do. I mean, come on. So, and again, the secrecy is just out of control on the real secret space program, my friends. It is outrageous. And, you know, even Catherine, as a financial person, economic, you know, expert there, and a brilliant woman, brilliant person, she tells you that, you know, with this huge divergence between the people in the know and the people who don't know, it's caused enormous privileges. And privileges, she tells you, is one of the most wasteful things that you can have for an economy, right? Because it literally can destroy so much optimization within an economy. It'll destroy the wealth with the people with the privileges. So, my friends, we have got to break down somehow this wall of secrecy. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of military folks, and there's a lot of great military people, my friends. No question about it. We need a good military. But I'm sure if you talk one-on-one with them, they'll admit the secrecy is way too much, my friends. They've been treating us, especially on this free energy and what they've been doing off-world, they've been treating us like moronic ants on this issue, my friends. And after 60 plus years, I argue, it is time, my friends. It is time for us to get the truth, right? Absolutely it is. Again, it's our divine right to have this free energy. It's going to be crucial, my friends, for the sustainability of our planet. Absolutely. It's going to beautify our planet in ways we can't even begin to imagine. We shouldn't have to wait till our generation dies off for our prodigy to have this free energy. It should happen right now, my friends. And with enough people talking about it and providing that much needed transparency and truth on these issues, we can get it, my friends. But we got to start with intelligent conversation, and we got to stop blurring the truth. We got to stop having ufologists sell themselves out like we reverse engineered E.T. craft and it's partly responsible for our secret space program. No, it isn't. We never reverse engineered some E.T., some alien race from another star system. My friends, let the cosmologists, let our sophisticated telescopes and the cosmologists and astronomers, let them search for extraterrestrial life. Let them do their job. We're still searching though, my friends. And hopefully one day we will find, possibly in this generation, I've always said, we may discover microbial life. I think it is quite likely in our generation. And that's going to be a game changer, my friends. Now, to discover other sentient beings that are flying around as part of these trillions of dollars of hardware, above Earth and in space in our solar system, to find somebody like that, I think that's a long shot, my friends, and elsewhere, but it's possible. But we can't, my friends, all the trillions of dollars of hardware flying around in our skies, and we're going to get into them. I'm going to show you some amazing pictures. That's not ET, my friends. That is not ET. That is the covert military civilization. And the contractors like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, they've made amazing breakthroughs and created a radical, gnarly UFO technology. No question about it, my friends. No question about it. And here's an example, my friends, of this is the triangular craft. You see this? This is these three lights are three multimodal propellers and sort of rocket systems, even though they hardly need any rocket thrust, because I'll be talking about how they've reduced the mass of this object, this 600-foot triangle. They've reduced the mass by 89%. Truly remarkable, my friends. And it's more relying on, again, the anti-gravity. They're manipulating the electromagnetism and gravity, the magnetic fields. We're going to get into it. This is from the Belgium Triangle case, seen by thousands of witnesses in 1989 and 1990, my friends, I believe it is. Yeah. And this is called the TR3B, those triangles, my friends. Truly remarkable. We're going to get into it. The TR3B was created as part of the, of course, the Aurora project, the most top secret of the aerospace programs. And it's the most top secret exotic aircraft behind, except for UFOs, flying saucers, and cigar-shaped craft. This is the most exotic and highly classified project. Along with, here's another one, my friends, very similar. This is the boomerang-shaped craft. This was seen at the very famous, one of the most famous and well-renowned UFO cases of all times, but a lot of people have forgotten it because it was back in the late 1980s, early 1990s. I think it was over a 5 or 6 year span. Thousands and thousands of witnesses and upwards of 25,000 people saw this boomerang-shaped craft floating above highways, above the water. People were slamming their cars and, looking at it, this thing in shock and awe. They couldn't believe it. And it was totally silent other than a low electrical humming sound. Think back to the Nazis, my friends, when they were working on the De Glock, the Bell project, which we may get into. That also had electrical humming sound, and it levitated. These things, of course, fly. The Bell, the De Glock was in the 1930s, but we'll get into this. So here's a huge boomerang-shaped craft, my friends, and this is a lot of these were the size of a football field normally, and some reports on some of the boomerangs, they're actually the size of football stadiums. That's right. Truly remarkable technology again that and the performance is just unreal in these crafts, my friends. It can loiter. It's stealthy. We'll get into it in a little while. And of course, it accelerates thousands of miles an hour. It can go from a dead stop to over the horizon and back again in less than a second. Unbelievable. And by the way, my friends, in a few minutes, you're probably wondering, why do you have these pictures on your shirt? Why is this so important to you, Fitness Captain, Jason Cosmic R, SSP Authority? Well, I'll tell you in a moment. Now, here's another picture, and just to give you an example of some of the technology and what it looks like, my friends, to give you a visual. This is the TR3B. Actually, let's get into my shirt right now, my friends. I'll briefly describe to you. You see this triangle? This is the Space Force, of course. Trump, our Donald Trump, the United States President. I say our, I'm in beautiful Canada, the powerful country of Canada. But the United States is our next door neighbor. So let me address Donald Trump. He's trying to get the Space Force, his administration, which is intertwined with the CIA. We know that. Anyway, they're trying to get this passed through Congress, right? I think it was almost a year ago. They tried to get the term Space Corps passed through Congress and it was turned down. Now he's trying to get the term Space Force passed because he wants the Air Force answerable to the Space Force. And the bottom line, my friends, Trump's administration and Trump being businessmen, Trump being a businessman, they know that the space-based economy is where it's at, that there is literally not trillions of dollars to be made from mining asteroids, etc., but quadrillions of dollars to be made in space, my friends. Again, our amazing infinite inconceivably vast, powerful, majestic universe. It is infinite with wealth. It really is, my friends, the cosmos. So the point is, and see NASA, here's the same signature, my friends, symbols. What is the symbol? It's a triangle, right? See? Take a look, my friends. This is very important. And then we're going to discuss what this is, this picture. You see this? This triangle, my friends, first of all, what NASA does, they put it right in front of your face. And they think most people are just too naive, being caught in their full-time jobs or whatever they're doing, watching their entertainment programs, and especially corporate media, mainstream, gullible, corporate bought-out media. They think people just, they don't know what's going on. Well, most people don't, my friends. I'm here to tell you, I've learned from the great Michael Schratt, an amazing aerospace historian who, like me, is trying to penetrate that technology, my friends, this tapestry, this black world landscape out there that has amazing exotic technologies that, again, doesn't have any congressional oversight. The general public is just not aware of. Well, what they do, they secretly embed symbols, you know, as part of the CIA, the NRO, CIA, yeah, all those organizations. We'll get into the organizations, the United States Air Force, the Navy. They embed symbols. Well, this triangle, my friends, this is a perfect example. Michael Schratt hasn't, I actually found it quite curious. Michael Schratt goes through all the patches and symbols on these patches, but he never addressed the triangle. Maybe he's not aware of it. I'd love to correspond with Michael Schratt in the future, hopefully, and I will show him the triangle. And that resembles why they secretly embed this, my friends. There's no question it's because, and we'll go through some patches through Michael Schratt's work. I might actually play a recording later for you guys so you can listen. Where is it? Hold on, my friends. Here's an example. So here's the Air Force Command, my friends. Here's again, a picture of the triangle, right? This is part of the patch, right? Well, that's those the 600-foot triangles, my friends, that I showed you a picture of earlier. Where is it? Let me get organized here. Right? You might as well say it's in other words to show you like the boomerang craft, which is like a chevron shape with a triangular edge, or even more accurately, it's the TR-3B, my friends. Right? It's this triangle from the Belgium case, and that huge triangle that was seen in 1996 or 1997 it was in Utah, in Arizona there, of course. The Phoenix Lights, it was called, right? Well, they embed that symbol, my friends, as this is the craft that we need to be aware of, my friends. They're going to try to do more clandestine operations, again, going off-world to the moon and Mars, all over solar systems, utilizing the most popular craft for decades now, that being these 600-foot triangles, my friends. Truly astonishing, radical, gnarly UFO technology, but we deserve the truth on it, my friends. And here, I wanted to show you, here's the TR-3B Estrada. This is, it's not a great picture, but have a look, my friends. Some researcher thought it was significant enough, and I'm glad they got this picture because it sure as hell looks like a triangle on a submarine, my friends. What else could this be? They are putting the TR-3B underneath the oceans, my friends. And we've got massive cigar-shaped craft that are coming out of the oceans, my friends. And some of the cigar-shaped craft that are deep in space, Billy Carson, who owns his own space company, tells you, and it's called First Class Space Agency, his space company. He tells you that these cigar-shaped craft, some of them deep in space, are literally the size of small cities. And you know what, my friends? Whenever Billy Carson even so much as speculates, you better believe it's based on good reasoning, okay? Here's another picture of the TR-3B, my friends. Here's a more accurate resemblance of the triangle and why they put the triangle on these two badges, okay? By the way, anytime they make a patch, Michael Schratt tells you, my friends, they don't make a patch unless it signifies a real program. And it's up to us to be able to disseminate and decrypt the symbols in the patches. And Michael Schratt's done it with the help of another expert on patches. So that's significant if you want to understand, my friends, more of what's really going on with these covert military civilizations, the real secret space program, right? So finally, my friends, again, talking about the cigar-shaped craft, I'm bringing it up because this is the example, my friends. See the cigar-shaped craft? Right here, my friends. And it's in the rings of Saturn. This is an infrared, I know it's outrageous, right? It's wild. It's an infrared picture taken from the Hubble, and also there were pictures taken from the Voyager spacecraft, right? When it was taking pictures so many miles away from Saturn. So they have estimated, researchers have estimated, and photo experts, this cylindrical object is 2 miles or more in length. And at least 1.5 miles, but probably 2 miles or more. Incredible. So there you go, my friends. That's the evidence of what Billy Carson has referred to as cigar-shaped craft, literally the size of small cities. And we've had, smaller cigar-shaped craft, of course, but still huge, all over the earth, seen probably by millions of people now, and in space, my friends. They are the second most common shape of UFOs, is cigar-shaped craft. Remember that, my friends. Flying discs, the typical UFO flying saucer, the same thing that crashed at Roswell, for example. That's the most commonly type seen UFO in space and above Earth's orbit flying around. But cigar-shaped crafts is the second most common. And the last few decades, my friends, what is really, really going on that's really delivering a lot of military assets off-world for covert production of the Moon and Mars as well is the 600-foot triangles. There is a proliferation of the 600-foot triangles, my friends, and the performance, again, is astounding. It can loiter just like the cigar-shaped craft. They accelerate thousands of miles an hour within seconds, and it's just truly remarkable. And they've been seen worldwide, my friends, okay? The TR-3B, and they've got the TR-3A. There's different TR-3Bs, my friends. So I'm trying to, again, my friends, I'm trying to give you a broad stroked overview and a hardcore analysis in some of this technology and what they've been hiding and covering up for 60 plus years, my friends, okay? And I'll show you more of the patches later on, okay? And this is just going to be a rough video, I think, today, a test run. I hope you get the idea of what I'm going to discuss, my friends, especially in my next videos. Here is the X technology, and that started, my friends, even in ancient times, they had an X sort of technology back then with ancient civilizations. And bringing up to modern times, my friends, we've had the X planes, of course. This is a well-known fact. The first X-1 space plane was piloted by Chuck Yeager, actually, the X plane in 1947. Actually, I don't think that one in particular went to space, but extremely fast. And Michael Schratt tells you something very significant about the X-planes, my friends. And we've got documented, I think the highest one is like an X-37B or something. But whenever you hear of an X-plane, my friends, there's twice as many X-planes as being reported. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. Researchers have told, people from the Black Projects have told Michael Schratt that, more than one person. So, and that doesn't surprise me, right? So here's Apollo, my friends. Apollo, it doesn't say which Apollo mission, but it shows they obviously were using an X technology. Now, Dark Journalist has done a great job, by the way. He's doing a whole series on the X stenography. He doesn't get into talking about the actual X planes within the military-industrial complex, Lockheed Martin and other contractors, but it's very interesting when you start talking about the X planes, my friends. It's really kind of a cool technology as well. And finally, one more picture today, my friends. Here's the Apollo 16. Look at this. They had the triangle craft, or you could say the boomerang-shaped craft, one or the other, the TR-3B, or it was the boomerang massive massive triangular craft, all the way back in Apollo 16. Why else? You know what they did, my friends, because they're telling you. They're secretly encrypting the same symbol way back then. Isn't that remarkable? And if you go back to the evidence, my friends, of pictures in space, you can see those triangular shaped craft, my friends.